Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Good afternoon. See, it ain't morning now. It's after almost 3 o'clock. But today, you can almost see it. Pow! Cub Cadet LT42 XT1 Enduro with the Kohler 5400 series 18 horsepower single cylinder overhead valve engine. KS 540. It's been a good year since we've serviced this thing for her. She called me this morning, Tom, my lawnmower, it keeps dying. I said, well, when it dies like that, does it spit and sputter to a stop, or is it like you just cut the key off? She says, no, it starts spitting and sputtering, and it takes a minute and it dies. I'll give it a minute and it cranks back. I'll show you what I found. I'll show you the first thing I found, which was the first thing I was looking for. Well, she brought this thing to me absolutely full of gas too. Here. That thing's got to hold about 2.5 gallons. Let that gas right there get finished sloshing. Let's let it calm down a little bit. And I'll show you what I found. Look down there. Let me see if I can get this gas cap out of here. If you can see way down at the bottom where the fuel line hooks to the bottom of the fuel tank, it's what appears to be a little spider. Looks like a little spider's getting sucked down in that intake right there, where the fuel line hooks to the bottom of the fuel tank. Yep, something's got it completely clogged. Well, I think a few years ago, the lawnmower detective, he found half of a bumblebee abdomen in one of them. I'm not sure what that is. It looked to me like a little spider or something. Well, we're going to get rid of it. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is drain that tank. Yep. Let me grab I got an empty 5-gallon gas can over here. Let's grab it. Blow this thing up with air hose. It's covered in grass. Okay. We'll grab us a little filter. This is what paint and body guys use to filter their paint with. I can do this without making a big old mess. Big old mess. Trying to wash the levels. Ooh, look out. Got it. You can see the level dropping. I could have just took the fuel line loose and let whatever will run out, but I want to get it from the top. I'm barely getting this below the top surface. I don't want to suck none of that stuff out of the bottom of the tank yet. We'll get it way down to where it's almost empty, then we'll sacrifice the rest of this fuel for whatever debris might be in it. Then we'll take the fuel line off from where it mounts to the carburetor. We'll blow air back through it, and then we'll blow air into the fuel cap area. Just try to blow a little bit of debris out of it. Well, I wasn't in the fuel just then. Running my mouth. I'll tell you, this is a very interesting video, isn't it? I'm trying to stay off the bottom of the tank. It's a pretty big fuel tank. We're almost there though. We are almost there. We'll just keep going till this thing quits pumping. There we go. We're starting to suck air now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Let whatever's in here go back into the fuel tank. All right. All right. Yeah, you can get them little pumps at Harbor Freight for like $12. Takes 2 D-sized batteries. Handy little pumps. Handy dandy. Oh, let me grab the flashlight again. Let's take another peek in here. I hope I didn't suck up whatever that was. I did. Whatever was in there, I must have gotten close to it and sucked it up. Let's see, what is that back there? It could have been an insect. It could have been a little piece of plastic when this tank was molded. I really don't see nothing else in there. Let me look in that filter I just tossed in the garbage can. I don't see nothing in that filter. All right, let's take a loose right there. Yeah, there's a good 2.5 gallon coming out of there. We'll set this over there and we'll pour it back in here when we're finished. All right, let's get this hood off out of here because we're gonna give this thing a good annual service. I don't want this plastic hood hanging out in my shop. We'll lay it on the carport out here somewhere. Out of the way of everything. All right. All right, here's the bucket. Nice clean bucket. I just noticed she's missing a dust cap. Gotta get her one of them. Yeah, that filter would have stopped whatever was in there, but it had that little plug clogged up, that little hole clogged. See, that's where the fuel line hooks to the bottom of the fuel tank, right there. I can see a little bit of stuff floating around in there, way in the back, way back under. Yeah, we're gonna get all that out. Okay. We'll just let that drain. Let's see what kind of shape our air filter is in and all that good stuff. $22.83.01. I should have some of these if we need one. Oh yeah, we're gonna need one. This thing's rotten. Yeah. Let's see. 42.83, 22.01, 09. I see it on the shelf over there. Anyway. Okay. All right, she's done draining. Get the air hose and put a little bit of pressure in the fuel tank. Not a lot. Let's lower the table so I can see inside of it. Let's take a look at what come out of the rest of that gas. Whatever was in there, the fuel filter caught it. I see a little bit of stuff floating around. Some of that could have probably fallen off the frame of the tractor. All right, let's get the fuel filter unhooked. Well, they didn't leave me a whole lot to play with there. You go to Harbor Freight and get you a door panel removal tool too. I forget what I paid for that, like $9 or something. That thing comes in handy. Brake the traction. And we will go for 2 points. Oh, I'm getting closer and closer to that trash can. Yeah. Well, that's the fuel flow that way. Let's take it over here. Tap. Yeah, look at all that stuff come out. That's what it was. Yeah, look at all that. Golly. Yep. Get a little bit of air. Yeah, look at all that shooting out of there. There was a big piece right there. All that was floating around in that bottom. Had the fuel tank all clogged up. Fuel inlet, outlet, whatever you call it. I can still see a little piece back there. Way back there in the back, you can still see a little bitty piece. There's something just flew out. There's a piece laying right there. Piece laying right there. Let me grab my turkey baster. I bet I can get it with my turkey baster. It's laying right there. Nope, didn't get it. Nope, didn't get it. Keeps falling back in there. Where'd it go? Nope, still laying in there. I still see a little piece of something in there. There it goes. I don't know how this tank is mounted. It's bolted in somewhere. You'd have to take this off. Then you can get to these. No, you can get to them screws right there. One screw there, it goes all the way through. Well, yeah, these screws will hold that bracket on is behind here, so that would probably be a difficult job to get this fuel tank out of here, but we don't have to because we got it pretty clean. There's something right there on the bottom. See it? Yeah, let's get the turkey baster and see if we can get that. Something else. And that's just big enough to clog that hole. There it goes. I don't know what it is. Whatever it was, it just kind of come to pieces. Huh. Well, that's why it was dying. Still see a little bit of stuff over there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Grab the other end of this fuel line here. Make sure that's clear and open. It is. I don't really see nothing else in there, which is good. So we'll grab ourselves a new fuel filter. You gotta get that dirty with your finger so you can see the arrow. That way. Get that wet with a little WD so it'll slide on there. There we go. Try to put that tire right up here. All right. Now we can pour her gas back in there. I'm going to lower the table just a little bit. Pick it up so high. All right, pour her fresh filtered gas back in here. I see the car guy over there just put out a new shop update video. Check him out here a little bit. I need to check that fuel cap too because it looked like it was little pieces of black plastic. Sometimes this rubber seal will start coming loose and little pieces of it falls off, but it looks pretty good. Take one more good peek, make sure we don't see nothing in there. I can see the bubbles coming out of the inlet. So you know the fuel filter and everything's filling up. Bloop, bloop, bloop. She's nice and clean in there now. All right. Ooh. I don't think anybody wants to steal nothing out of that car. That car alarm they got on there is probably the most expensive thing about it. Vibrate a lot. All right, let's get it up in there and get this oil changed. She says she ain't hard to use this thing that much, but the oil still look nice and clean. Grab the oil sucker. Way to the bottom with the mighty back MV 7400. Give it about 4 good pumps. All right, that thing's gonna make a mess. I can feel it. Let's see what. Good to try to get this something out of the way here. Anywho. Let's grab a bucket. Ow. Get your finger out of there, boy. Yeah. Yeah. This back last year when I had more strength. Let's see if we can maneuver this fuel line up and over this little bracket right there so I can try to get it out of the way of the oil filter. Just let it make its mess. I wonder what the chances are that thing sitting there like that when I run over and grab another oil filter. You think it'll fall when I turn my back to it? Let's take a chance. Oh, gotcha. That filter there is a little bit longer. I like that. Let me go find another oil filter. It's a little bit longer. Set that down there. Let's see, yeah, here's one. This is the same brand I took off the laser. It replaces a 12-050-01. It's the same filter as this one was. This is also a 12-051-01, but this is aftermarket. It's a little bit shorter. I don't like that. Gotta remember to start getting these. I must have been desperate when I got them other ones. Make sure the old gasket didn't stick on there. I'll do that other eraser there. I'll get it better. There it is. Over. Ow. Three of 24. Okay, this is 6 of 25. So, paint pen. I'll tell you, I've had this paint pen. I got it at Walmart. Got it about 4 years ago, and it still works. Looks of 25. Well, actually, tomorrow's July 1st, so I should have got 7 there. Oh well. All right, give this thing one more little pump right here. We'll take it and set it over there out of the way. I have this little bracket. I'll show you how I put this and store this thing. I keep that thing sitting over here. And I put me a little eye hook right there. I just kind of stick it like that, let whatever left in there just kind of drain back in there. Otherwise, you just set that thing aside and that thing will make a mess. It always stays nice and dry over there like that. That's a good little place to keep it. Oh, I took the dipstick. Okay, let's put some Earl in. We are right at 2 quarts, so I'll go ahead and put a quart in it, check it. Put a quart and a half and check it. It's probably going to hold both quarts. This is a pretty big oil sump on this engine. Let's see where we're at. We're just under a quart. Kind of an idea. They usually tell you on the dipstick. Nope. And by the dipstick it says it's perfectly on full, so it says it's perfectly on full, from what I can tell. It's kind of hard reading this yellow dipstick. Like Kohler, that XD series engines, they have black dipsticks. You can't see it hardly at all. Let's see, let's let this thing run for just a second. Fill up that oil filter. And then we'll fill it up the rest of the way. Okay. Put these back down there. So there, like that. Like that. That's so shiny right there. It looks like it's getting wet. You know, I don't know if I'll let that thing run long enough just then to fill that oil filter up. We're just a little under full. I'm going to pour a little bit in there and we're going to fire it up again. We'll put just a little bit in there. Right now we're right just above a half a quart, so that's a good quart and a half to put in there. Almost. Looks like it's right up close to the full mark. Let's crank it up again. Give it a second to let that settle. Let that settle. We'll give her a new spark plug. Like a DCPR6E plug. Well, where'd you go? DCPR6E. Pow. Let's grab one out of the box. NGK. $30,000. Pretty good. Yeah, before you screw it in right there, you need to make sure you rub it all over the head of the engine. Fill the crush sleeve and stop. Click, click. Thank you. All right. What did I say that air filter was? 2208301. Do I have any? 2208301. 2208301. I don't have one. I don't see one. Huh. Have to order one, I guess. I didn't put that one back in. Some of that spongy stuff can come apart and get into carburetor. 2208301. I can't believe I ain't got one of those. Let me look again. Let me look from a different angle this time. 2208301. Nope, you don't see one either, do you? Nope. Have to get some. Get some, get some. Okay, let's check this oil. Just a hair under full. So it would have taken the entire quart and a half. See how much higher than we are? There's a half quart. So we'll go down to where it's even with a half mark. We're right at it. We're right at it. Over there, something like this. Perfect. All right. So far we have cleaned the fuel tank. That's what was causing it to die. Changed the oil. Gonna get her new air filter, spark plug. I'm gonna sharpen her blades. Let's see what kind of shape her blades are in. Pretty good shape. Got a little nick in that one right there. It'll take 2 or 3 sharpeners to get that out. I ain't gonna do it all at once. Yeah, these things are actually not even dull. Well, we're gonna sharpen them anyway. Let's get this thing on some jack stands. Alright, grab our hook. Find a good hole to grab. That hole ain't big enough to grab. There's a big old hole right there I can grab. Not gonna interfere with anything. We're gonna do her parking brake. Now we'll follow the chain. Now we can get the impact gun under it. Get the blades off. All right. Let's reach under there and zip her blades off. Yeah, that's fine. We got parts. We got parts. Appreciate it. Over here, get this one off. Try not to hit that camera. I hit the camera. Can I get to the sharpener? Huh? I forgot a way to get over there. All right, let me hit pause real quick. Got to go around to the front door. And we're going to come over here and sharpen these blades. Grease the front end. Y'all hang with. All right. Let's mark an edge on these things. Good chunk taken out of it. Wow. Thought I heard a little money. Well, I hung up before I can get to it. It's going to take 3 or 4 more sharpeners to get that out of it. But uh-oh, left me a message. Yeah, it's pretty balanced. I bet you it's going to be heavy on this side because of that big chunk missing. Nope, that's perfectly balanced too. All right. So I get there without breaking a leg here. All right, I'm gonna hit pause, pop in blades on, and check that message. Somebody just left me. Hang with. All right. Let's get these blades put back on here. Let's see, we'll start with this one over here. Make sure you get it on that 6-star pattern. Don't cross thread the nut. Alright. New air filter. Wow. Go ahead and pop it on. We'll get it off the jack stands. After we grease the front wheel, I gotta find here a dust cap. I'm sure I may have one over there. Oh yeah, that's pretty dry. Oh good. The same length and everything, yep. Ooh. Very good. Let's see, the only grease fittings are, yeah, they got one back here behind on the back side of the steering spindle. And then we have one here on the wheel itself. All right, let's grab the grease again. I tell you, this is just not my favorite thing to do, is grease. Like a mess out of the simplest little grease job. I'll tell you what, I got that at Harbor Freight too. This thing here is come in handy. Ooh, pop that off first. It's already coming out. We'll go over here and grab this wheel. Wipe it all off. Oop, I didn't have it on there good. That's got to be well more than enough. Okay, let's go back here. Wipe that one off. All right, you see it squirt out of there, that's good. And we'll come over here and hit this one. Yeah. Give me some air hose there, boy. All right. Oh, I'm gonna put a tube in this front right wheel for her too. She says it's constantly flat, so. All right, grease is coming out of the bottom of that one. Yep. Ooh, okay, that's about all we're gonna do. Sharpen the blades, change the oil, clean the fuel tank out, spark plug, air filter, greased it. I'm gonna slap her a tube in there, before I take it down. And then we'll be done with this job if I don't trip over that air hose. Well, all right, boys and girls, my battery's going dead. It's hot. I got to get that big fan over there back on before I fall out. Thanks for watching another Tom Louie video, boys and girls. That is a service on the Cub Cadet XT1, 46 inch. Or was that a 42? That's 42 inch. Yeah. LT42, signature cut. Signature. Y'all be good, man. Holler if you need me. Eat your vegetables and take your vitamins, and tell somebody you love them. We're going to catch y'all in the next one. Love y'all.